Hi. All right. So today we are going to be reading Chapter 5, Virginia Succeeds. And this is actually going to be the first slide we create. We're doing a keynote presentation on the 13 colonies. And so Virginia will be our first official colony as part of that slide. So I have a list of questions for you to listen for, or if you're reading independently later on to include on your slide. So that's what you're going to want to focus in on. All right, let's get started. Virginia succeeds. The Indian princess, one of the native people who had become friends with Captain John Smith, was Chief Powhatan. Chief Powhatan was the leader of the local Indians. He had a daughter whom he loved very much. Pocahontas in Jamestown. Powhatan gave her the pet name Pocahontas, which means the playful one. Pocahontas visited the Jamestown colony many times. She taught John Smith some Indian words. She was very kind to him, and she made him a member of her family. Pocahontas was about 14 years old when John Smith was injured by the gunpowder explosion and had to leave Jamestown. She was unhappy when she heard that he had been so badly hurt. She hoped that he would return to Virginia. At about the same time John Smith was sailing back to England, another Englishman was sailing to Virginia. His name was John Rolfe. There were two interesting things about John Rolfe. First, he was a very, very lucky man. Second, like many people then, he really liked to smoke his pipe. So remember, we talked about tobacco growing, right, a little bit in some of the earlier chapters, and so he was a fan of smoking tobacco. When John Rolfe was going to sail to Virginia, several ships left England bound for Jamestown. One ship was called the Sea Venture, and another was called the Ketch. John Rolfe sailed aboard Sea Venture. Things did not go very well. The ships were caught in a storm. The storm sent the Ketch to the bottom of the ocean, along with everyone on board. Example number one of how he's super lucky, right? Of the two ships that he happened to be on, he was on the one that actually survived the storm, and everyone else died on the other one. Saved by a shipwreck. The Sea Venture was wrecked on an island 700 miles from Jamestown. Not so lucky, but he's alive. It could not be repaired. The only way for everyone to get to Jamestown was to make two little ships from the pieces of Sea Venture. So they basically took apart this big ship and made two small ones. It took a long time to build the two ships. By the time the ships finally reached Jamestown, they were almost a year late. Because of the shipwreck, Rolfe and the men with him were not in Jamestown during the starving time. Lucky example number two, right? So yes, he's stranded and it takes them like a year to get there and build these ships from the wreckage of their other larger ship, but he wasn't there starving in Jamestown. So that's lucky example number two.